everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny, the host with the most. Welcome to you. What's up, Caleb?
Yo, what's up?
Oh, man. What a week. Oh,
So many new cards.
not even just the cards, just everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Wow. I'm overwhelmed right now. I don't know if like a creator shouted us out somewhere or if this is just all natural growth or what, but our numbers for the last week and a half have been insane. It's pretty much one of our craziest weeks of growth like ever. So
far.
Yeah, so thank you to obviously everybody that's been listening. Wow, thank you so much for supporting us, for sharing, all of that. We couldn't do it without you. Speaking of people we couldn't do it without, let's take a moment to thank all of our patrons. So, a huge thank you to Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Master of Isa, Mocha, Mr. Herbies, Scuzz Daddy, Witchcrafter Main 2022, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Lila, Damian Zink, Dank Nugs, Dino DNA, Mountain Man, Myth Oceanus, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Rudolph, Sneaky Links, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Thank you all so much for supporting the podcast, and if you want to hear your name called out in the podcast intro like that, all you have to do is go in, sign up for our Patreon. The link is in the description down below. And you only have to join at the $1 tier to get your name shouted out in the podcast. So, with that said, if you do want to support the podcast through Patreon, that's below. And if you want to do it a different way, we do have our TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below. So, if you want to support the podcast at no extra cost to you for the cards that you would already be buying, be sure to go ahead and click the affiliate link before you shop. So, with all of that done, said, and out of the way,
And it is all greatly appreciated.
yes, I do want to give a little bit of a disclosure before we get into this episode of the podcast. You might hear some sniffling. You might hear a slight sneeze or cough every now and then. I'm just going to warn you because we live in Louisiana.
Yep.
Which is like the place where trees go to screw.
Oh, yeah, no. Then also, I'm also suffering from a head cold at the moment.
Yeah, things are not great.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
So, we often complain about how we often say like, oh man, I'm so glad I don't live in places where that white stuff falls from the sky and screws everything up for a few months.
We mean snow.
Right. The water kind. So, like, we're happy that we don't have to deal with that pretty much ever. Last year we had like 7 inches of snow, which caused our entire state to shut down for a week. But we're pretty happy that we, for the most part, don't have to deal with anything like that.
But my black car gets painted yellow every spring.
Not only that, not only does the pollen get to us, but what people don't realize is on days like today, currently we're recording this at like 10:30 at night. It's like what, 35 degrees outside, 38 degrees.
1 second, I can tell you exactly. It is 43 degrees outside.
Okay, it's 43, but it rained a lot today. So it's like a wet 43.
Yes.
Which may as well be 35.
Yeah, I would say more like a 38.
Okay, well, the low is 38, so
Yeah.
we'll just say it's cold for us.
Yeah.
The high today was almost 80.
Yep.
And this has been every day for like seemingly like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. There has been 1 or 2 days sparsely spread where we had like normal weather comparatively, but
At this time of the year for us, and it's not even just this time of year. It could also be like around November, December.
yeah,
It's like January is the only month where it's like consistently cold. And then like
late December, it's pretty consistent.
late December, you might get like a week at the end of December where it like is actually cold.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, it's only like actually consistently like Christmas here for us it was like almost 80 degrees.
Listen, there several years ago, I'm talking 2015, Christmas Day, I opened my gifts, put on swimming trunks, and went out and swam.
Like, no joke.
It was 95.
Literally, I've seen it in the 90s on Christmas.
Yeah, and this was 2016, I think, 2015 or 16.
6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, when that happened.
Think about that. 6 or 7 years ago, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but all that aside, this time of year, February, March, or like November, December, we are talking literally 40-degree or more swings in temperature like every day.
Within the course of about 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. Literally. I mean, when I got out of my house this morning, it was like around 40 degrees. And that was around 8:30, 8:45. By the time I got to work, it was in the 50s. By the time, it's 15-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I got to work, it was like close to 50. By the time I actually started like moving around outside and getting working good, because I work outside. And by the time I started like getting into my delivery route really good, it was like creeping up on 60. Like my jacket has been off. I'm like moving around. And then
by lunch, it's
almost 70.
Short and flip-flop weather.
I literally wore shorts at work today.
Listen, that's why my normal attire is shorts, flip-flops, and then a jacket.
Right.
Yeah. It's how you adapt.
Yeah, so basically, this long non-Yu-Gi-Oh related intro is to talk about how if we sniffle, it's because I have my heater on, my space heater, and I have a blanket, but I'm also wearing shorts.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here in shorts and I got my jacket on.
Right. So like, yes, I understand that it's winter, but Louisiana winters hit different. So
they're
horrible for a whole different reason from the rest of the world.
Yeah. They're very hot and cold. Very yes and no, very in and out, very up and down. Take a sip of water for that joke.
It's very wrong and right. I was trying to think of the next line.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, let's get into some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Okay.
But it's not quite black and white.
Fair. Getting into some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff finally. Okay,
I'm going to go listen to that song later.
Okay, so quick play news. So we got some more information on...
Quick play news at the 9-minute mark.
Yeah. We got some vague information about the upcoming themes in Deck Build Pack Tactical Masters.
Yep.
So first off, you have the one where it's like the girl in the white dress with the hidden horns. It's the actual Japanese poster for it, and it says, "Is this beautiful castle riddled with traps? The princess's tricks are always perfect. Labyrinth of the Silver Castle." And then
so that's the spoiler for the archetype that we don't know everything about yet.
Correct. The comment about the set in general: put your ingenuity to the test and clear the game. And then some information on the specific wording. Challenge the mysteries of the world with runes. As a reminder, this theme's name is a pun on mysteries, Spring of Mysteroon. The Valiants. Stand in formation, O warriors. Advance through the battlefield with that courage. Valiants of symbol, Manunaka.
I feel like Valiants are almost meant to be like like some kind of like a strategy game where you're moving around like your little units.
Yes.
Like there's different kinds of units that you're moving around a battlefield.
Yeah, when we talked about the archetype before, I had compared it to the Dynasty Warrior games and Gundam Dynasty and like the Gundam Dynasty Warriors.
What do they call the games where it's like a strategy game? Not like tower defense, but like
I mean, you have real-time strategies, RTSs. And then you also have turn-based strategies.
I'm thinking about the games where like you have to like deploy units and troops over like a battlefield and stuff.
Oh, you mean stuff like Warhammer, and
maybe, but they make like a video game version. Like there's like a Halo version of it.
Oh yeah, those are RTSs, real time strategies.
Okay, yeah. So like it reminds me
Age of Empires and stuff like that.
Yeah. It reminds me of something similar to that, and so with it saying that is like everything is like video game related or just like game related in general, it makes me think that like the Valiants are kind of game related, and then you have the Mysteroon, which are obviously game related.
Yeah, they're actually directly related, just due to some of the background stuff in the art.
Oh, really?
To the generators, the generator archetype.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, who are all based off of boss monsters from video games. One of their support cards is straight up called Generator Boss Loot.
Boss Loot or Boss Stage?
Boss Loot. There's also Boss Stage.
Yeah, Generator.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
So,
that's interesting. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, so basically they're the bosses and then the Mysteroon is the video game player character. Is the person
Which is
playing the
awesome,
game. Yeah,
by the
super
way.
cool concept. Also, the cards are really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna hate playing against it, but it's cool.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? You blinked? Banish the top card of your deck.
I'm just gonna play Lancia.
Oh, you sighed? Banish the top 4 cards of your deck. I don't care about your Lancia. Banish those cards.
Yeah, banish them. I said banish them.
I said banish them. Next up, we have the next V-Jump promo. It is called... Keep in mind, this is a translation done by Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization, so there's like 4 different ways you can pronounce this. Okay, so first off, we have Loris, or it could be Lorith, or Rorith, or Rolith, Lady of Lament. Dark Fiend, level 3. Note, the name of the monster can be localized in many ways because the L and R sounds and the S and TH sounds being similar. As for the rest of the name, it's the same name structure as Alice, Lady of Lament, Lilith, Lady of Lament, and Malice, Lady of Lament. As for other notes, they mention that it works very well with cards from Deck Builder Pack Tactical Masters, most likely the Labyrinth theme, and that it's an original monster for the OCG that has an effect that revolves around trap cards. I'm thinking discard this card, search for a normal trap.
That would be ridiculously broken. There's
It'd be insane. I hope that's not the case. As of now,
Wait, you said the name of the monster can be localized in many ways, and yes, what would also be valid likely localization? Unlikely localization?
Oh, I'm not saying that on this podcast.
Lollies?
Fine. Yes, lollies could also work.
I thought you said Lolis. I thought you said Lolis earlier in an attempt to like intentionally mispronounce the word.
No, I read and was like, oh, skip over that. But yes, it would also be valid but unlikely localization.
That's funny. Could you imagine if they named the card Lollies?
Oh my god. There'd be rioting in the streets.
I don't know. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! People are weird.
Everyone's weird everywhere. It doesn't matter. Okay, next card. You want to read this one, or do you want me to just keep reading them?
I'll read it.
Cool.
HCO1. So this is from what set is HCO1?
We said it one time and I forgot. Hidden Collection, maybe?
Something like that. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Level 8 Wind Dragon Synchro. Effect monster. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Materials: 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner effect one or more non-tuner monsters.
It's History Archive.
Okay. You can only use the first and second effects of this card each once per turn. 1. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower tuner monster from your graveyard. 2. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card special summon 1 Stardust Dragon from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Then immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using monsters you control as material. This turn, that synchro monster is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Broken.
Oh yeah, this is just a better version of... Well, I wouldn't say better version. It's a different leveled version of Formula Synchron.
Well, it summons back Formula Synchron, and then you can use it to tag out into Stardust.
Yeah, and then you can also get any Stardust specific synchros. Like I could foresee this being very easy to turbo into something like Majestic, the new Majestic Star Dragon.
I mean, that's what it's for.
Yeah. Or Shooting Riser Dragon or something like that.
Yeah. That's the like intended.
Yeah.
Is to go from a level 8 synchro. Well, actually, to go from a level 2 synchro and a formula into a level 10 synchro.
Yeah.
Because you can go the level 6 and the formula into this, and then use this to summon back the formula, and then activate this, summon Stardust, and then use Stardust and formula to go into a 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a synchro climbing tool.
Yeah, which is really good. And it also gets around the whole, you have to use Stardust Dragon for this synchro.
Yeah, because it literally tutors out Stardust Dragon.
Yeah. As a synchro summon as well.
Which is huge, actually.
Yeah, because that means that, like, later on, if you, like, let's say you Monster Born the Stardust Dragon, it's still a viable target, and then if you activate its effect to negate a destruction effect,
it can summon itself back.
It still comes back, no problem.
Yeah, it actually is kind of huge.
Yep. So next up...
also... No, never mind. I was thinking about something completely different. Okay. I was thinking about TG Hyper Librarian, not Formula Synchron.
Yeah. So next up, let's just go ahead and stick with the HCO1. And next card that I'm going to talk about is the Legendary Swordmaster Blackluster Soldier.
Okay.
I love how they open this on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization with unstoppable, invincible, unparalleled, open the gates of chaos, come forth, the ultimate Swordmaster Supreme form. And I'm not gonna lie, this artwork is nice.
Yeah, this artwork is
but I'm also
sweet.
But I'm also a sucker for, like, the knight with the sword and the shield.
I'm a sucker for Blackluster Soldier specifically.
Fair enough. Let's see. Level 8 Earth Warrior Ritual Monster, 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Chaos Form or Super Soldier Ritual. That's kind of neat. The fact that it says you can use
either one. Yeah.
Must be ritual summoned. Kind of dumb, but okay. 1, during your draw phase, before you draw, you can reveal this card in your hand, give up your normal draw this turn to just add a ritual spell from deck to your hand. That's actually not the worst.
Oh no, it can be good in certain decks.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact it lets you add any ritual spell.
Right.
2, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during your battle phase. Once again, Warrock, eat your heart out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, this is just to heck with you.
And lastly, 3, when this attacking card that was ritual summoned using a normal monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can shuffle all cards they control into the deck. That third effect, if it didn't require you to use a vanilla as one of the tributes to summon it, would be busted.
To be fair, you can tech this into, like, a Blue Eyes ritual deck, because the Blue Eyes are all level 8 and he's level 8, so you can...
And they run Chaos Form.
Right.
They naturally run Chaos... Yeah, so instead you can distribute a Blue Eyes, get this guy out. Actually, yeah, that gives him another, gives him another win con outside of...
Blue Eyes Chaos Max.
Yeah, so, like, if something happens to it, they have a plan B, which is a board wipe.
Yeah.
Not even just a board wipe, it is a return to deck. So...
It's a spin.
Yeah, so sent to graveyard effects don't trigger.
Right.
So that's even better removal than Zeus. Outside of that, the way to actually get the thing on board to activate the effect.
Yeah, no, it can be kind of a pain to summon, but I would argue that it's probably worth it if you're, like, into that thing.
If your deck already natively ran, like, chaos form, and vanillas that you contribute to summon this thing, I think it'd be well worth, teching one copy of it into, like, a Blue Eyes deck or something.
Yeah, like a Blue Eyes Chaos, or like a Blue Eyes ritual deck.
Yeah, definitely. Really cool. Let's see. Next up, we got a whole bunch. Still in HCO1. Well, we got a whole bunch of hero support, but then we also got one more hero card for HCO1.
Right.
You're the hero guy, so...
Okay, I guess I'm doing hero stuff then.
Yeah, which is, the first one is Wake Up Your E-Hero.
Yep. So, Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. So, this is a level 10 light warrior fusion effect monster. 2,500 attack, 2,100 defense. Materials, 1 elemental hero fusion monster, 1 or more warrior monsters. Must be fusion summoned. Gains 300 attack for each fusion material used for its summon. This card can make a number of attacks on monsters each battle phase up to the number of fusion monsters used as material for its summon. Huh. That's pretty good. 2. If this card if this card battled a monster after damage calculation, destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Oh.
That's mandatory, okay.
3. If this fusion summoned card is destroyed, special summon one warrior monster from your hand or deck. Also mandatory.
Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so like, let's just say you used five monsters to make this.
Right, he can attack up to 5 of your opponent's monsters.
And is that like 30, and is that like 4K? Well, hold on. If his second effect works the way that it reads on just kind of glossing over it real quick, it would be like, let's say you attack a 2K attack. Let's say you attack into a Drytron Alpha Thuban at 2K. They would take 2K, and his effect would trigger, destroying it, and they take another 2K.
Right. And because it triggers after damage calculation, which is a substep of the damage step, you don't really get replay. So, like, you can't redeclare necessarily.
Well, yeah, because I think that effect triggers after your opponent would take the life point damage from attacking over one of their monsters. But then, even if it's in defense position, that effect would still go off.
Yes.
So that's interesting. And then, of course, if your opponent outs it via destruction, you get a free warrior.
Yeah.
Note that this card is named after the second ending for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Wake Up Your Heart, sung by Yuki Judai's voice actor in Japanese, the rock star and voice actor Ken.
Interesting.
Okay, then then we have the first set of new cards from Power of Elements.
Yep.
The next set after...
Yeah. So Power of the Elements is the next set after... Oh, gosh. What is it called? Dimension Force?
Yeah, it's the next set that we're getting.
No, there's another set in between Battle of Chaos, which we just got. I think it's Battle of Chaos, which we just got, then Dimension Force, and then it'll be this one, which is Power of the Elements.
Yes, that's it.
So, first card is Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos, level 7 light warrior effect monster. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Huh. That seems good.
That's just hilarious.
If this card is special summoned, you can add one spell or trap that mentions an elemental hero monster's name, or one polymerization from your deck to your hand. Wow. During your main phase, you can shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, special summon one elemental hero normal monster from your deck.
I guarantee you, it's always just going to be Neos.
Yeah. They wanted to give Neos an effect, make him feel included.
Yeah. Let's see.
Next, we have Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman. Did you want to do this one, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, sure, I can do this one.
Okay.
Level 8 Light Warrior Fusion, 3100 attack, 2500 defense. Materials: Elemental Hero Neos and one Wingman fusion monster. So Wingman's an archetype now.
Yeah.
Must be fusion summoned. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is special summoned, destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of different attributes on the field. It's alright. I mean, it's light, so it's guaranteed 1. Gains 300 attack for each monster in your graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by effects. Interesting. 3. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack.
Yo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, for real.
Let's see. Got like 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they released a bunch of new Neos support.
I mean, hey, people like Neos.
I like Neos. He's cool.
I mean, did you know that elemental heroes or heroes as an archetyping have only 70 less cards in their archetype than there are total pendulum monsters in the game?
Really?
Yeah, there's like 270 hero support cards, and there's only like 350 total pendulums.
To be fair, there's also a bunch of hero support cards that aren't heroes in and of themselves.
Right.
Like Rottweiler, or our next card,
True.
Crosskeeper. Level 2 Dark Warrior, 400 attack and defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon an elemental hero or a Neospatial monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you special summon it from the graveyard, its effects are negated. That's pretty good.
Interesting. That's a different take on like effect negation and stuff.
Yeah. 2. If you special summon an elemental hero fusion monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it to draw 2 cards, then place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So it's just a +1.
Yeah.
But then you also get to put something back you don't want in your hand.
It seems pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
Yeah, actually.
Next we have EN, Engage Neospace, normal spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this card except fusion monsters. 1. Send 1 Neospatian monster and 1 elemental hero monster to the graveyard, 1 from your hand and 1 from your deck. Special summon 1 Neospatian monster or 1 level 5 or higher elemental hero monster from your deck. If it is an elemental hero Neos, it gains 1000 attack. And if you do, add 1 polymerization from the deck or graveyard to your hand.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Yeah, on a normal spell card, I fully expected this to be a trap card.
Something like this is a lot for most normal spells to handle.
Next up, we have Instant Contact. So the artwork they did for this is like where it's got Neos and then all the Neospatian fusions.
Right.
But then they cut out Air Neos.
I mean, you can't have Air Neos in here.
Listen, man, we don't talk about Air Neos. No.
I mean, it's only because Konami doesn't have the rights to its artwork.
Yeah. I also like to believe it's because of Neos Air over in Italy.
I mean, yeah, I've seen that rumor flying around, but like,
that's probably not the real reason why, but I still think it's funny.
I mean, yeah, it's funny either way.
Just Control deleted that boy. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. 1. Pay 1,000 life points. Oh boy. Special summon a level 7 or lower E-Hero or Neospatial monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. But if you do not have E-Hero Neos on your field or in your graveyard, the summon monster cannot attack, its effects are negated, and has also returned the extra deck during the end phase. That's not terrible. It's just too bad that all of the Neospatian upgrades are terrible.
Yeah, honestly.
Like the only one I've ever seen run ever was Twinkle Moss, and that was actually due to something else not related to it ever actually hitting the board.
Right. So next you have EN Wave, continuous spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If your elemental hero monster is used as material for a fusion summon and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can special summon 1 Neospatian monster or 1 elemental hero Neos from your deck. 2. If a Neospatian monster and or elemental hero Neos is shuffled from your hand or graveyard into your deck and or extra deck, you can special summon 1 elemental hero monster from your graveyard.
So the thing about the Neos contact fusion of the Neospatians is that at the end of the turn, if Neospace is the field spell and Neospace is faceable on the field, they go back to the extra deck.
Right.
So they'd go back, and then this thing would trigger and pull out another one out of your graveyard.
Yeah.
Pull the Neos back out. Just recycle Neos. Interesting. Next is a quick play spell, Fusion Over. Why is Neo so cheeked up in this card?
I don't know. Everyone's been wondering that. I've seen it all over Twitter. Listen, the Yu-Gi-Oh community can't agree on anything, but we can all agree that right there, Neo's got cheeks.
Yeah, that boy is cheeked up on a Sunday morning. Oh my god. Anyway, here's what the card actually does.
He's a quirked up white boy.
Yeah.
something on the sauce or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
MBT reference. I don't know.
Insert MBT reference here. Y'all know
Yeah.
what we're talking about. You can only activate one card this name's per turn. Ooh, it better be good.
Quirked up white boy goaded on the sauce. That's what it is.
There it is. 1. Target one face-up monster on the field. Reveal one elemental hero monster, one neospatial monster, or a level 10 monster. Level 10 monster? Oh, because Rainbow Dragon. From your hand, deck, or extra deck. And if you use the targeted monster as fusion material this turn, you can treat its name as the revealed monsters. Also, if you have E-Hero Neos on your field or graveyard, send the revealed monster to the graveyard. Otherwise, if it was revealed from the hand, shuffle it into the deck. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Because that lets you because that would let you cheat out a lot of stuff you wouldn't normally be able to cheat out.
Yeah.
Via fusion substitution, which also lets you get off some pretty. Hold on, fuse into absolute zero, reveal Grand Mole with Neospatian on board, contact fuse into the Grand Mole contact fusion with Neos, effective absolute zero to blow out your opponent. I guarantee you that the number one target for this card is going to be Ab Zero just to contact fuse it away with Neos.
Or yeah.
That's not terrible.
Next we have favorite contact. Normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. Special summon one fusion monster from your extra deck that lists a hero monster as material by placing the materials listed on it on the bottom of the deck in any order from among your cards in your hand, on your field, in your graveyard, and or in your face-up banished cards, ignoring its summoning conditions. And if you place Elemental Hero Neos, the summoned monster cannot be returned to the extra deck.
If you use this to bring out one of the Neos contact fusions, they don't go back to the extra deck and they just sit there.
Oh man.
I'll have to review what those do because if one of them are busted, this looks like it might actually be a viable strategy at the rogue level, but still, instead of being just generic heroes, it's just straight up Neos hero,
which I mean is probably realistically fine.
Yeah.
So,
but like I said, it'll depend on whether or not the actual Neos contact fusions are any good. I'm actually gonna look those up real quick.
I don't think they're all that great.
Contact fusions. Doop. Let's see what we got. Blah 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 blah.
Probably just the usual suspects.
Well, yeah, because it's gonna be Elemental Hero, Magma Neos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I can find them. Okay, so we have Air Neos, which isn't really a thing. Aqua
Neos
Neos,
doesn't exist anymore.
Chaos Neos. Well, let's start with Aqua Neos. Let's see what he does. Okay, Elemental Hero Aqua Neos. 2,500 attack. Well, they all have the same stats. This is, by the way, this is actually, I think, the most common one's going to get used because it's Neos and Aqua Dolphin fused. Aqua Dolphin being,
Right.
the best Neo. I'd say tied for best Neospatian.
I mean, tied for best Neospatian may be an effect, but
yeah,
not in coolness.
Yeah, exactly. The tied for effect one would 100, in my opinion, be Grand Mole.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what he does. Must be first normal summon from your extra deck by shuffling the above materials to control the deck. You don't use polymerization. Once per turn, discard one card, destroy a random card in your opponent's hand. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Discard one card.
There's definitely some applications here.
Oh yeah. As far as I remember, they just had upgraded effects of the Neospatians. Aqua Dolphin could only really be utilized if your opponent had a monster whose attacks is lower than what you control. That's just a straight up upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all the new cards. I think we got a lot of cool stuff. This is all, but by the way, those 8 cards, Neos cards, are the only thing we know that's coming out of Power of Element so far.
So far.
Yeah. It's 8 cards out of a 80 card set.
Yeah, I think it would be. Usually there are 100 over here in the TCG.
Yeah, due to like reprints and OCG imports, stuff like that.
Yeah. So the core sets here are always a little bit bigger.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for new cards. So next up, I was going to say we should talk about the new XYZ tournament.
But before we do, let's take a moment to talk about our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. ETB is our locals here in Alexandria. We do, of course, have everything that you need there for your card game needs. You can get everything that you need for Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, Cardfight Vanguard, Digimon, whatever you are playing. You can find your sleeves, your binders, your deck boxes, whatever you need. You can also find a great environment to go and play tabletop games such as D&D. You can get all of your figurines, all of your maps, all of your books, everything that you need to play the games that you love. And also, you have a great place to go and warm up when it's cold outside, to just go in, hang out, play some video games, and do your thing. So, if you are within a few hours, you should absolutely come check us out. This weekend will be the ETB Battle City Day. And, of course, a huge thank you to ETB Games. So, with that said, let's talk a little bit about Master Duel, dude.
Oh yeah. So as of this morning, they officially launched the XYZ Festival. It is a special rule set where you're only allowed to use XYZ monsters for your extra deck. You're not. So to go with that, there's also a ban list.
Yeah, and it's a very weird one.
So first off, they banned all non-XYZ extra deck monsters, obviously. They also banned stuff like Contact C, Eldritch, Eater of Millions, Flying Sea, Fossildyna Pachycephala, Ghost Rick Skeleton. Really anything that just kind of says, too bad, I don't care that you're trying to XYZ, I'm just going to lock you out of them. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, fair.
And then they also banned Exodia, some burn stuff, which is great. So that way people actually play XYZ decks. Except people aren't playing XYZ decks, they're playing self-TK decks right now, which is hilarious.
Yep, pretty much the goal of the game is to lose as quickly as possible, because it was discovered that you still get medals when you lose. Sure, you get a little bit less than if you win.
Exactly, 50% less, actually. You get 50 if you lose.
Right. But still money.
Oh, I know, because if you can go through 3 duels in about 5 minutes, which if you're burning yourself for game real quick is entirely possible, you make more than a normal duel where you win.
Yeah, I mean, it's still just like easy points.
Yeah,
so.
And every 100 points you get stuff. They also have a new pack, because they had like the classic pack. They had like a bunch of old terrible cards. They have a new one which is all XYZ support.
I'm with it.
They have like Adris on the cover. It's really cool, and those are the new tickets you're getting from that. The set's really cool. I've pulled Adrius from it already.
Wow.
Yeah, it has some really cool stuff in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Adrius, Tyrus, like every single XYZ monster, I think. I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah, I don't think it's like every XYZ monster, but
no, now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah. So I just pulled it up, just looking a little closer. It's like Adrius and Tyrus. It's a selection of cards from the Legacy pack, but in like a tiny smaller 20 card set instead of what the Legacy pack is, which is like almost like 4,000 cards or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's see. We got Tyrus and Adrius at Ultra. Supers, we got Photon Strike Balancer, number 59 Crooked Cook. Ugh. Archfiend Descent, really cool. And Mind Crush. That's super, yeah.
Mind Crush is like okay.
Yeah. Rare, we got Granosaurus, cool. Number 91 Thunderspark, Paw Hunter, Maw Hunter, Sis Hunter, Spirit Converter.
Meh.
Yeah, all meh. And then for common, we have Overlay Owl, Overlay Eater, Me Mimic, XYZ Rapiers, Harmonic Waves, Resonance Device, Space Cyclone, and Reinforced Space.
So, okay, let's talk about the whole setup of this. So, it's got its own ban list, it's got its own where like, and it's on its own ban list. A lot of like the most powerful stuff is all banned.
A lot of the most powerful stuff that with one card shut you down.
Yeah,
Because you can only play XYZ monsters.
right. And then you've also got a completely different prizing and reward system.
Oh, yeah.
But it turns out the best way to climb through the new prizing reward system.
It's just to OTK yourself.
Yeah, using like burn cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, self-burn card and...
Self TK.
Yeah, people have gotten really clever with it, too.
Yeah. My favorite thing that I saw somebody doing, I saw Farfa was actually built a deck of cards that give your opponent life points.
Yeah.
So
just
he
to
was
counter
using
that.
like gift card to give them 3k, and then like Hero's Triumph or Hero's Call or something like that.
Yeah,
hero gift. That's what it is.
Just like whatever he could find to give his opponent life points, just to counter that, just to annoy them.
Which I think is hilarious,
Yep.
by the way.
Oh yeah. So I've actually, for me personally, I've actually been playing Pure Zoo, which is I don't remember where I neck decked this build from. I neck decked a build from somewhere, then I modified it because it was running Mega Clop. So I took out the Mega Clop, so now I'm running 3 Chalk and Iron.
Yeah. I was just about to ask you what your like personal experience with the event is.
Oh yeah. And then I decked out Triple Crow and Skullmeister because I don't think those are as useful.
Right.
For this, and I decked in Cyclone and Twin Twister because I was expecting a lot more Numeron.
Right.
I've encountered exactly one Numeron player, and the Cosmic Cyclones came in and did what they were meant to do and just shut them out of the game completely.
There's very little that is more satisfying than when you tech something, especially if you tech it in for like a specific matchup, and it just does exactly what it's supposed to do at exactly the right time.
Yep, because he won the coin flip and then made me go first.
Of course.
Because that's what they do. And I literally just saw the Cosmic Cyclone in my hand, set it, and passed.
Right.
Because that's all I had. That's really all I could do. And then he activated the Numeron gate, and I just went, "Oh, Cosmic Cyclone."
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that there's not like a stronger going first Zodiac strategy.
I actually have a funny story. In this actual tournament, I was up against a Zoo Mirror where I deemed to go second, and on turn 0, they made F0 by like normal summoning a Zoo, making Chalk and Iron, effect Chalk and Iron to revive the Zoo they'd originally used. They made Trident, popped it with Trident, and I remember exactly what the combo line. It was a weird combo line that required Monster Reborn, but they were able to get that's how they did it. They made Trident, detached for Trident to pop the Zoo. The Zoo returned itself back to the deck, and then Monster Reborn the Chalk and Iron, and then boom.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't exactly know all that, but
yeah, and then made F0, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I have a Regeki in hand, but can't be sure by battle card effects. So I just like made Zeus, used Zeus. They negated, changed Zeus to still wipe it. They still stole my Zeus. I Regeki'd the Zeus, Monster Born, their F0, attack direct, and they made their own Zeus, and the game was over from there.
Big oof.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, like that's really their only going first board that I've seen with Zoo is exclusively make F0 if you have a Zoo plus Monster Born in hand.
Yeah. So, what would you say are, in your opinion, like the better decks of the format?
So definitely Zoo is definitely one of the better ones. Numeron OTK is good if your opponent doesn't have any way to stop the field spell.
Yeah.
Also Danger. Danger is a surprisingly good deck in this.
Yeah, I guess they don't really need a lot of XYZ monsters.
Not really. And then I don't even know entirely what this deck was doing. It started out as special. It started out with special Cobalt Warbler. It started out with Leerlusk stuff, right? Made F0. But it also summoned like Ystrix, made Ultimate Falcon and number 77. and then effect of something else.
Sounds like Winged Beast combo.
Then like effect of something else to cheat out a stealth Kragan.
Oh my!
And I'm sitting there like, I don't think I can play.
No, that sounds insane.
Okay, so like the number 77 was not a threat. I did not care about the number 77, but I could not get around F-Zero.
What is number 77 for those that don't know? You know, I'm not saying that I mean I know, but like, what if somebody else doesn't know? I mean, what if somebody doesn't know?
Fair enough. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up.
'Cause like I totally know.
Let's
but
see.
just in case I didn't, you know, what is number 77?
Yeah, I think it's like malevolent sin. Yeah, number 77, the 7 sins. Oh, that's a tongue twister.
What, number 77, the 7 sins?
Yeah. It's normal materials, 2 level 12s. You can also exceed this card by using a rank 10 or 11 Dark Exceed monster you control as the Exceed material. That's what the Ultimate Falcon was for.
It's funny because you would have thought that Ultimate Falcon was just, you know, good enough on its own.
Well, that's because the way he cheated out the Ultimate Falcon, it was just going to send itself to the graveyard, and its effect was negated.
Oh, okay.
If summoned this way, the following effect cannot be activated, so it can't activate this effect if it's overlay on top of another Xyz. Once per turn, detach from this card, banish as many special monsters your opponent controls as possible, then attach one of them to this card's Xyz material. If this face-up crawl on the field be destroyed by battle or card effect, detach one from this card instead. So, and it's at 4K. It's just a big 4K beat stick that he can detach the Ultimate Falcon from it to save it.
Yeah.
That was not the threat. The threat was the F-Zero negate and the Kragan pop.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Kragan Control is another, like, that deck is real.
It really is, and it is an Xyz only deck.
Yeah, so you can literally, in fact, that deck can just go kind of like full on do its own thing because you have access to Stealth Kragan Spawn, you have access to Bahamut Shark, totally awesome.
Yeah, Bahamut Shark and a Toad. Oh my god, it's such a good deck. That was the next I was going to talk about after this thing. This thing was weird. I had the Chalice in hand, so it's like I can Chalice the Stealth Kraken or the Monster Negate.
But you can't get them all.
So I ended up chalicing the Kragan. Normal summon a Zoo. Did my normal stuff. Made a format Zeus. Effective Zeus. Negate. Effective Zeus.
Right.
Still board wipe, but he got my Zeus, and I just didn't have a way to out it, so I lost.
Yeah, honestly, I probably just wait for them to activate one of their effects, like at the most crucial time. Like, Stealth Kragan might be okay.
Well, I left the Chalice in my hand and waited for him to activate something, and as soon as I normal summoned Thoroughblade, he just immediately shotgunned the Kraken pop, and I was like, okay.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and I didn't have a Monster Reborn in hand, so I was like, I
gotta have it.
Yeah, I have to. It's a case of I have to have it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, he doesn't have any card. He used his entire hand to pump out that board, and I was like, okay, so I have a turn to do something.
I mean, better at one turn to do something than like zero turns to do nothing.
Yeah, I just lose right there through FTK. And I just couldn't draw anything. I just couldn't draw into another Zoo or anything like that. It is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the next I was talking about was actually Kragan Control. Stealth Kragan is a heck of a card that people are just not talking about.
Yeah, no, Stealth Kragan, it's a good card, just in general.
Because I think a small part of that is that a lot of people read its first line of text and be like, this is terrible, because it can only pop water monsters.
But
the second line of text is that all monsters your opponent controls are now the water attribute.
Yup. Yeah, no, that you got to be careful about that deck.
And then if you pop the Kragan, they just get 2 Kragan spawn.
Yep.
The Kragan spawn can revive the Kragan.
It's an endless cycle. So
it's ridiculous. It's really hard to out.
So overall, how do you feel about the Xyz event?
I'm really enjoying it whenever I actually get in an Xyz game.
Yeah, rather than just self-DK.
Or the one Danger Dark World game I had where they made exactly one Xyz monster, and now it's just to reset one of their effects.
Right.
I think they made like Dragaris or something. I don't remember.
Just something as like a extender or whatever.
Yeah, and like literally, he went first. 35 cards in deck, 5 cards in hand, and ended his turn with 1 card left in deck.
I feel like at that point there's got to be some kind of a way to like try to force out him, just like get him just to take one extra turn.
I did no that was my strategy. It was just I'm just going to do whatever I can to deck him out.
I mean, I feel like at that point that's what you have to do. Like that's the proper line of play.
Yeah, but I mean he had like 2 pops and a negate on board. I'm just like, ugh.
I will admit 2 pops and a negate is pretty rough.
The 2 pops coming from Danger Bigfoots, that are just like waiting to be discarded.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh boy. But I just didn't have enough stuff to put on board to, Now that being said, though, if I wanted to stall for him to deck out, I would have to have stalled for 3 of his turns, because his next draw phase comes around and he skips it because he activates something that makes him skip his next draw phase.
Oh.
And then he draws on 1 card, and then he decks out.
Right.
And I was like, that's why he left the 1 card in deck, because then it adds an extra turn. So like if I couldn't have I couldn't make a Zeus. If I could have made a Zeus there, I probably could have done something, but no.
Yeah, popping the normal summon is kind of difficult against Zodiac.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our podcast question of the day. Our last podcast question of the day was, what card are you ready to see get a nice cheap reprint? Lightning Storm, Kit. Kit is a good one. Ash, Access Code, Magician's Soul, Ferris, Increase, Bingo Machine, Go, Sky Cavalry. Dude, the Sky Cavalry is also a sneaky good pick. Curse, Necrofear, Traptrix, Sarah, Infernoble Knight, Renaud, and Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplets, Galaxy Soldier. There's a lot of really good cards, but a lot of people are saying Forbidden Droplet. It's crazy. The Dark Magicians, more Lightning Storm. Mega Ryza is a good one. Mega Ryza is a good pick right there. And then over in the Discord server, we've got some people saying Pot of Prosperity, Fusion Destiny, Verte Anaconda, more Ash Blossom, Hulky Fibrax. More Ash Blossom printings is really needed. So, but that will do it for today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. Our closing question is, what do you think is the best hand trap going into the current format? I'm pretty partial to either DD Crow, or I still think Ash Blossom is really good though. So
for me, it's either the Crow or Lancia.
Lancia also. Actually, Lancia, it's probably either Lancia or Crow.
Because like a good chunk of the tier 1 decks right now, if you Lancia them, they just kind of go, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, my plays.
I'm in danger.
And they just have, it turn-ins them.
Yeah, so. But what would you, what do you think is the best hand trap of the current format? So be sure to tell us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. We will be posting the question tomorrow like we do every Tuesday and every Friday around the time that our episodes go live. So if you want to see everything that's going on here, all the latest news on Yu-Gi-Oh!, be sure to tune in every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. Be sure to follow us in our Discord. You can find our Discord in the link down below. If you want to support the podcast, the best way to do it is Patreon. If you don't want to do it through Patreon, but at no extra cost to yourself, you can click on the TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below. Be sure to check out ETB Games. Their link will be in the description down below. And be sure to check out Team Darkroom Dealings. They are our sister channel on YouTube. You can find their link down below. Also, Caleb, you got anything to go on the way out?
Nope.
Alrighty, that's it. Well, have a good day, everybody.
Take care, everyone.